Lloyd, tell us a little bit about Trauma. How'd you get started with that? You know, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's been, what, 30 years now?
Trauma was founded in 1974 to be the independent movie studio. And a lot of famous people have come out of there. And if you look at our library, you'll see that Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro's first films, or I didn't direct them, but they're owned by us. Vincent D'Onofrio, who's on CSI, has a movie called The First Turn On, which Michael Hers and I directed. Samuel Jackson, we financed Death by Temptation, his first movie. Trey Parker and Matt Stone made a movie called Cannibal the Musical, which is their first movie, and then they went on to do South Park right after that. So,
well, not to mention my movie.
Well, they get the first James Vallo movie. Well, it wasn't the first. It was the first movie.
The first Trauma film that I did.
And it was the first movie with Corey Feldman.
Space Days, yes.
Space Days, yeah.
Space Days with Corey Feldman.
Your first movie with Corey Feldman, and Corey Feldman's finest work, if I may say so.
Will I ever get another, Seinfeld where, I mean, you're probably gonna hear this in the special features of the DVD when season 7 comes out in November, that when Jerry Seinfeld and Spike Feresten and Larry David were all sitting in the editing bay, all the technicians were saying, like, you're breaking all the rules of guest acting by giving this guy too much screen time. And Jerry said, but it's funny. And that's our motto, right? Yes, whatever's funny. But if you really look at that, by the very fact that they actually would say a line and they'd go to my reaction to it, my physical reaction, that is the opposite of the rule. The rule is the guest star says his line and you go to the reaction of the series regular.
Got it.
And they were doing the opposite. They kept going back to my, that's why you see me in all those scenes, just reacting. In any other show, I mean, I've done so many guest spots in so many shows where you did a reaction and you wish they would have showed it, but it's just not going to be there.
16 Candles was the first movie I was ever an extra in.
Oh, really?
I'd never been in a movie set at all. They went to Niles out here, John Hughes was shooting it, and I was in the dance scene, dancing with the fake music and the bumper system, and they shut off the music and you got to keep dancing. They say their lines.
Mine was I Want to Hold Your Hand. It was about the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first extra job.
When I first started acting, I started getting into acting back in '97.
Yeah.
I did my first small film in '97. It was just a low budget short film.
No, we all got those.
Yeah, we all start off somewhere. So I started doing extra work just to learn around the set and see what goes on. I never put extra work when I first did it. I never admitted to anybody.
Through the years I've written, when I've got the bug, I wrote a play just to employ a bunch of friends of mine. I wrote a part for every one of them. I wrote a screenplay with the same idea in mind and a couple of teleplays. But, secretly, all I've ever wanted to do is just get employed and act.
Yeah.
And if I ever do that enough to get sick of it, then I'll take these projects and do something with them. But I guess that's all I've ever, all I ever wanted to do was just.
I just feel as an actor, there's just too much downtime.
When you're making your own damn movie, you have to move things around and be flexible. And I couldn't play my original part, but these guys were able to take advantage of the fact that I'm coming here to Chicago, and they got me and did a little cameo, and now they can put my name on the DVD box and they'll sell at least 6 more DVDs, thanks
Absolutely.
to Lloyd Kaufman being on the box.
You're going to do a scene here with Jimmy in a minute.
And, do a scene with Jimmy, get to beat him up a little bit, I think.
What do you think of that, Jimmy?
I think it'd be great. I'm looking forward to getting my butt whooped.
My first actual role on television was The Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo, and they picked 3 guys from Chippendales when they had a mud wrestling scene with Claude Akins, bless his soul.
Claude Akins.
They gave me about 4 or 5 lines. I was nervous as heck. I mean, even after the classes, I mean, you got cameras on you, and if anybody says you don't get nervous the first few times, they're a liar. And
yeah, it's pretty much true. Yeah, I was at a Nightmare on Elm Street gig years ago, and it was the first time for a big studio film for me, and I got in there, and I was pretty damn nervous, and all I was a paramedic, you know. Just that I had this to do, pick up the dead bodies and stuff.
But you learn a lot when you're on a movie
after
set. I mean, it's just like you said, if you don't interact and see what's actually going on film or camera, you can take all the classes in the world, but you do a play, do something, interact and hands-on, live or whatever you're doing, so you get the experience and see what you're going to do.
It's important for the independent filmmakers to help each other, and that's part of Troma's. In addition to making our own damn movies, we try to help the independent filmmakers. So that's why I do these acting roles, and basically for free. And,
you were good.
Well, I had a very good director. John was an amazingly good director, and excellent acting by Mr. Vallo here and Babette. So all I had to do was just float along and follow the Tao.
I think for myself, I think that you have to follow your heart, that you have a desire. You have a passion as a human being in your heart and your spirit. And God didn't put that in there by accident. And I think that the whole trick of life, if it's a trick, is that you have to believe in that.
Absolutely.
Believe in yourself, and then the sky's the limit.
That's it. Yeah. Decide you're going to do it, and do it.
Script is the foundation of a film.
Absolutely it is. Yes,
and
it is.
if you have a bad script, then it doesn't matter if you have a good director and good actors. If you have a weak foundation, you're not going to have a good film.
Right. And by the way, there are no stars to me. And this is like, and it's probably my football in college or whatever else you want to say, but you know what? The Steelers, the 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, they all went because they succeeded because they were a team. Yes, you had your Troy Aikmans, you had your Michael Irvins, you had everything else, but I will tell you one thing. It's the support system that goes along, and they're all stars, because you know what? If you got one flaw in the system, to me, on the team, and what you're doing, it can make or break you.
I'd been performing and doing gymnastics and stuff, and like traveling, circus type things, and I always wanted to be an actor. I just knew when I was a kid that that was what I wanted to do. And so finally found an audition for the TV shows in THC.
And what is THC? What is that?
It was the Happiness Club. It's kind of like the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, okay.
But more hip-hop.
Now, was that here in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
cool.
was. But Disney bought that, and so it moved down to Florida. But
then you had a lot of success writing. Was that for that show too?
Yeah, yeah. That I actually wrote the theme song and a lot of the songs, and then the pilot. It won 3 Emmys actually.
3 Emmys, man.
Emmys.
That's pretty good. That's no, it's not pretty good. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff.
Cool.
So that's pretty exciting. I think that would probably motivate me to do more films after that. You know. Being a child and getting an Emmy award, you know, that's pretty hard to do. But you know, congrats on that. That's fun stuff. So from there, you just kept on doing voiceover, commercial work, and now you're into feature films.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. I'm looking forward to working with you on one of our horror films coming up too. You know, put your buddy Gabe in there too. He's a pretty scary guy.
Yeah, he's a creep. Gotta watch out for that one.
All right, but he does it well.
It's built in.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
This is the only butt whooping I ever took, and it didn't hurt. Only one.